Hey guys, welcome to I believe it's episode 7. And today I want to talk about saying yes to opportunities. I am Mr. Butterfield. I am a gnome tank on White Mane, but in this series I'm playing my alt, a priest, big and buff. So let's kind of get into it, guys. And today in WoW, guys, by the way, I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna be getting Dead Mines prep. That's the objective. Dead Mines prep. But anyways, guys, I want to talk about saying yes to opportunity because if you've watched this for a while, you know one of the things that I have been or issues I have been struggling with and want to attack is what I call like the endless stagnation that I feel like society and people I know have fallen into. Not everyone, but a lot of people fall into a stagnated state. And in this stagnated state, I think one of the issues that is causing it is a lot of people say. I hear this all the time. There's too many opportunity, not enough opportunities out there. There's no opportunity. I think that's wrong. I think there's what I think is actually is the word first. I think there are so many opportunities that people get paralyzed by choice. Right? They have 10 choices in front of them and they don't know which one to pick, so they pick none of them, which in itself is a choice and usually the wrong one. And I think that leads to a very bad type of stagnation. So, I think saying yes to opportunities is you don't want to say yes to every opportunity because you do have to say no, right? You do have to pick one and then just go for it, right? But before you say no to all the other options, you need to say yes to one, okay? And that's usually where I think a lot of people have the hardest time, like what to do, right? Example, like what type of career do I want to go into? What type of I mean, that's a big one. That's basically the biggest one, I think. I don't even think your partners that picking a partners that is big of an issue. I think the career opportunity is the biggest road blunder, right? Not always, but I think that's a big one for people. So, and that is a tough one because sometimes when you look at people who've made a lot of money, the thing they started with is not the thing they ended. So that does occur. But again, they had to start with one thing. And I think, and I've been thinking about this a lot, guys. I've been thinking about this a lot in the last week. Like how do some people go from like one field to the other and still be amazingly successful, right? How is it that they find, like, it's called business vehicles, how is it they find a new business vehicle and that they have no experience in and suddenly are just killing it? And ooh yeah, one moment. Cool. And I think, if I'm going to be honest, I think the issue, guys, is like what type of skills are you learning, right? And I've thought about this, so I want to talk about first of all having good character. Okay, I know I hop on this a lot, but this is I think this is very underestimated when I talk about good character. Good character to me, I'm not really using it in a maybe I am using it in a biblical term, but I'm definitely not using it in a like how when people think good character, they think of I think of Christianity and like they have standards to live your life by and stuff like that. That's not quite what I am getting at, guys. When I think of good character, okay, what I am getting at, guys, is this is how I'm going to define it. Okay, good character is having mastery of self, mainly mastery over your deprived self, or not falling into depravity. And I wanna be very clear on what I mean by depravity, right? Because no, probably what I'm thinking of is not what a lot of you guys are thinking of. So depravity, guys, in my view, in my mind, is any sort of addiction that leads to destruction, right? It's basically you pursue pleasure to the point of you're pursuing pleasures that in the long run are destroying you. Okay, so alcoholism would be an example, right? You get the pleasurable drunk effect, but you do it day after day after day. Not only does it destroy your body, but it deteriorates your relationship, your ability to do your job, stuff like that, and your life is ruined, right? I mean, in the moment it might feel pleasurable, but in the overall effect is that it ruins your life. Okay, so this is what I am talking about when I talk about depravity. It's basically addiction. I think addictive behaviors is one of the things that keeps people poor and miserable. Okay. Now I want to be clear. I'm not saying never get drunk. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I go to weddings and maybe the once a year New Year's party, and I drink my fair share. I'm not saying never have sugar, like have a piece of cake. I'm not saying don't go out there and meet women. Okay, I'm not saying don't do any of that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you don't become addicted to the point where you ruin your life over these pursuit of these pleasures. Okay, that's the thing I'm getting at. That's the idea I'm tackling with. So I think good character is about wrestling with the human element that gets addicted, right? And I think I've talked about this, the six right now in my mind, and I might expand on this later, but the six characteristics of good character is you're patient, you have integrity, you have maturity, you have control of your emotions, you have discipline, and you have an abundance mentality. Okay, those are the six characteristics. Six characteristics. I think if you can master, you have mastered yourself. Okay, and we'll kind of go into each of these right now. Right, and all this, guys, is in the pursuit of ending stagnation, right, and finding a way forward in life. But anyways, the thing. So let me kind of go into it, right, because we're talking about these traits. Let me start with maturity, because I hop on this one a lot. I feel society is not very mature right now as a whole. I don't care what age group you are. This morning, as of this recording, I was again. I usually go to the same pancake house every morning, kind of write down my notes, plan out my day, stuff of that nature. And right next to me at the table was, again, and these are two guys I've not seen before there, but this is a common occurrence. They're sitting there and they're bitching about the world, complaining, saying it's not fair, and it's just not a mature. It's just not a mature attitude. And what maturity is, guys, I really like Stephen Covey's definition. It's consideration and courage. Right, and I'm gonna kind of make it clear on that. You need to be considerate in your life enough to look at somebody else's point of view. You don't have to agree with their point of view. You don't have to accept their point of view. You don't have to even like their point of view. But you need to have the ability to see it and understand it. Okay, like I said, you don't need to agree with it. You don't have to like it. You don't have to enjoy it. But you need to understand where they're coming from. That type of consideration is very hard to master. And I think that is a huge stumbling block for a lot of people. They just can't consider somebody else's point of view. They just can't do it. As in the courage, I like to say this: you need to have the courage to act, right? You need to have the courage to act, and you also need to have the courage to be accountable. Okay, I always say this: if you're not willing to go to the executioner's block, um, that's probably not an action you should be taking, right? If you are willing, if there is an action you are, so whatever actions you take in life, right? Let's say you do take action. Whatever action you take in life, you need to be um, willing to go to the executioner's block for. In other words, I don't even think you need to defend your actions, like, right? So let's just say you go out and you hook up with a hot girl, and I don't know, this upsets somebody. Like, well, why would you sleep with her? But you don't need to justify that action. You don't need to like give. You could just say, I don't need to justify that. I don't need to explain myself. I did nothing wrong, and you just leave it at that. You don't even need to acknowledge it, guys. And if this person, because usually when people try to justify their actions, they're trying to escape accountability. They don't like the consequences of their action. It should not. The consequence should not bother you. If people do not, if you commit an action that you believe is good and right, you don't need to explain it. You don't need to apologize for it. You don't need to justify it. You don't need to do any of that. You just simply say, it is. I am. I did it. So what? What's your point? That's the attitude when I so that's being accountable, right, guys? Like I said, if you truly did something wrong and you know it was wrong, now I'm talking about within reason, guys. I'm sure that there are. I can't say there would never be a time where you don't explain your actions. That's not what I'm saying. Because obviously there will be times in your life where you have to explain why you took a course of action. But if it's not, let me put it like this: if it's being judged morally, I'm not talking like legally or in a business setting. I'm talking about a moral, like morality wise. If you do something that you think is good and right, you don't need to justify it morally. Okay, you don't owe anyone, you don't owe people a moral explanation of why you did something. Okay, now in a business setting, if your boss is like, hey, why did you take this course of action, that's a little bit different. Or in a legal sense, that's a little bit different. All right, guys, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about morally. If you do something you think is good, then just take the consequence, guys. Like, right? There's no reason to hide from it. Okay, if you truly believe what you did was right, there's again no reason to hide from it. A lot of people do hide from it, and that's the problem, or try to justify it. But you don't need to. You don't need to take. Like I said, just morally, you don't need to justify your actions. You don't. Okay. Now I want to talk about action now, because you do have to have the bravery to. Where's that other quest at? I'm looking for the Dead Mind quest. You do have to have some consideration of actions, right? And I thought about this a lot, guys. So I got this from the marketing book I was reading, and it's basically, guys, and I really like this saying: what gets measured gets managed. So you need when you start taking where is it? So I'm looking for these quests. When you guys start doing maybe it's in here. Is it in this one? So I'm looking for a particular. Maybe it's in here. I think it's in here. I'm pretty sure it's in here. Anyways, when you take an action, guys, you need to measure it. Like, if you do something and you were expecting an outcome, did that outcome occur? Yes, no, partially, right? And you keep improving the action until you find something that works, right? You find something that works. And then once that action has been taken, once you figure out what the particular action you need to do that does work, you amplify it, you up it. You up it by a lot, right? So I like using diet in this example for action, right? Let's say you get a routine down. See, diet's pretty black and white. I mean, I just say 2 meals a day, vegetables and meat, and you'll lose weight. But let's say you really want to push it. What you could do, guys, is drum roll. Once you have a let's say okay, actually I take that. So let's just say in a week you guys lose a pound, right? And you need to lose 20 pounds. Don't do it for like 20 weeks. Do it for 40 weeks, right, guys? Really push for that next level, right? Take the action, okay? Or another thing, let's say it takes you 100 calls to make a sale. Well, do you do 100 in a week, or do you do 100 in a day, or do you try to do 200 in a day? You get what I mean, guys? You gotta up the action, do more, do as much as you can, right? Take those 2 extra hours a day to do a little bit more. So that's what I mean. You gotta up the action. Once you find what works, just do nothing but that. Once you find like a meal, like example, once you find a meal that, let's say you lose, let's just say you lose a 20% of a pound a day on this particular meal. Just eat that meal. You eat nothing but that meal. Don't have like, oh, I'm getting tired of that meal. Fuck your tiredness. Just keep eating the same meal every day until you hit the weight goal, right? That's what I'm talking about. So, dragon heads. So that's what I'm talking about. So you just gotta keep taking the same action day after day after day after day after day. And this kind of leads. And discipline, guys, is the ability to do the same thing day after day after day after day after day. Okay. So, and I always say, guys, you probably can do 3 daily actions, 2 to 3. Any more than that, you're probably gonna start hating your life. So I'll give you my 3 daily actions. Right. First is sounds weird, but this game I try to stream 2 hours a day. Right. Trying to build the channel up. I've been a little bit behind because of work schedule, but I'm back on it. So that's action 1. The second action is I go to the gym every day. Right, that's a, and then the last thing is I stick to my diet my diet every day, right? So day after day after day, I just do these 3 actions until I hit my particular goal. What is this? Okay. That leads us to the second. So that takes care of maturity, guys. And this kind of leads and discipline, right? Discipline's another one I just talked about. So this kind of leads to patient, guys. Some people are not patient enough for stuff at all. They want it now, right now. They thought about it and they're like, why is it not in my hand? Why is it not in my life? I just thought of this thought. Why is it not existing? And that's really an issue of power. Like, the more quote-unquote powerful you are in life, the quicker you can get stuff. But gaining that level of power takes patience. So you need to be willing to wait the decade for the reward. Let me say that again. You need to be willing to wait the decade for the reward. Because, like, example, let's say you're losing I love the weight loss example. Let's say you're losing a pound a week. If you needed to lose 20 pounds, eventually, if you kept at that, you would lose that in 20 weeks, right? The problem is a lot of people can't make it to the 20 weeks. By week 6, they're like, oh man, I'm not there yet. The fuck? I mean, I'm down some weight, but I'm not at my goal. And then they fall off. They get bored. Okay? You need to embrace the boredom. Boredom is good. Boredom is kind of good. Trust me, I fall off shit all the time, but you gotta just keep at it. You gotta keep going. So you just gotta stick to the same actions every day until you hit the goal, and then once the goal's done, you get to do another goal and then another goal, and you'll be surprised how shit snowballs. Right? It will snowball into your effect. So let's see. The next thing is self mastery. Good character is having a control over your emotions, and this one's the hard one. This is the one people struggle with. I struggle with. Everyone struggles with. I saw a chart once, and I'm gonna go with it because there's a lot of emotions out there, but they said there's like primarily 6 emotions. There's anger, sadness, happiness, surprise, disgust, and fear. Okay, fear. Those are the 6. I mean, there's subcategories and mixtures and stuff like that, but we'll just go with those 6. And different people, like some people are more angry than others, some are more sad than others, some are more happy than others, stuff of that nature. And I really been thinking about these emotions in like terms of how, like the negative side of each of them, even happiness, can have. Okay, so let me give you some context. Let me give you some like examples. I mean, you get super angry and you make you take a rash action, right? You didn't think it all the way through. But once the thing is done or said or whatever, it can't be undone, can't be unsaid, and now you gotta live with that. That happens all the time. Like, right? People get really mad, they get in arguments, they say shit that they shouldn't have said, and then it's done, right? It's done. The relationship's over, and it can't be undone. This is, like I said, a anger. So when you're angry, you should take the moment to calm down and then still think, do I want to do the action? Like, I mean, most people will act instantly, but sometimes you gotta just say, okay, I'm angry right now. I'm gonna take a breather, and then I'm gonna come back and deal with this. That's anger. Sadness. This one kind of. So sadness is an interesting one I thought about. Sadness, guys. Kind of give you what I mean is usually when people are sad, they try to, for me, like eat the way out of their sadness, right? That's kind of where people fall into addiction. They're trying to escape some type of sadness in their life, some type of hurt, some type of pain, and there was just, in my opinion, there are just some pains that cannot be healed. So we try to numb them out, right? For me, you gotta resist that, right? When you're sad, you gotta resist the. That's the worst time to seek pleasure, is when you're sad, because what you're trying to do is numb it out. Like sometimes you gotta face the sadness. Sometimes the sadness is fixable. If there's something in your life that's depressing you, that you could take the day, the week, the month, or even the year to like fix. You gotta do it. You gotta do it. So that's my view on sadness. You gotta attack the problem, and if it's not attackable, don't resist the urge to fall into addiction, to numb it out. Resist the numbing, the seeking of numbness. Happiness. This one might be like, well, why shouldn't I act when I'm happy? It isn't that you shouldn't act. It is just that sometimes happiness makes us blind. Like, you ever hear love is blind, or love blinds you, stuff, that type of thing. That's what they're talking about, right? You're happy and you can't see the situation for what it is. So, kind of like anger, like you don't want to. Sometimes you gotta act right away, but sometimes you gotta be cautious. You can't. What I'm saying is, you guys, you can't get overly excited, and then be blind and naive to the situation it's at, because like a lot of people, like, this is how scam artist works, right? This is how a scam artist works. He gets you really happy, excited, like you're filled with joy. You're like, oh, my problem is over, it's being solved. And then you give him like a bunch of money, and he doesn't deliver on the promise, right? You were naive in your thinking because you were blind by the happiness. You saw the quote unquote, like, you're like, oh, I'm gonna be. You were just blinded by some happy thought, right? Like some problem's gonna be solved. Stuff of that nature. fuck, I just got killed. Anyways, guys. So, you can't be blinded by, pure joy, basically. You gotta sometimes look at things for what they are and think about it. And this guy's probably a twink. Well, it wasn't even like PvP prep. Anyways, disgust. That's another one we can talk about. Disgust. When you're disgusted by something, guys, and there are some pretty disgusting things out there. This one I have the rest of it because sometimes you should be right to be disgusted with the situation, right? I suppose. Boy, there are some examples I can think where you don't want to do this, but let's just say it's within like moral bounds, okay? Sometimes you might have to just say, well, you gotta consider their point of view, guys. Like I said, you don't have to agree with it. You can still find it disgusting at the end of it, but sometimes you gotta look at things and be like, all right, what would lead a person to act like this? Like I said, you don't have to agree with it at the end of the day, and it might still be disgusting. Like I said, there's a couple examples I can think of. I'm not gonna say on YouTube that I would just I can't find any good. Disgust is one I have a problem with. Like how can you because sometimes I want to say like a natural a way to handle disgust if the emotion disgust is getting in your way of victory in life is to try to find the beauty in things. But there are just some really ugly things in this world that are just there are no beauty in it. There's no good in it. So that one I have a little bit of a hard time with. Disgust is something I have a little bit of a hard time with. A better word than maybe disgust, guys, is if it's an annoyance. Like, maybe take the time to like understand. Like that's probably a less like annoyance is probably like a lesser version of disgust. When you find things annoying, like we'll use this, that's when you gotta find it. You gotta look at the beauty of the situation. Okay, I think annoyance would be better. So, example, I always hear guys bitch about women. They bitch about a bunch of things about women, but at the end of the day, guys, it's in that difference. I think is, oh man, I'm not gonna get the ZG buff. No, I think it's in that difference that the beauty exists, right? I know some people don't agree with that, but I think the differences of men and women, like even psychologically, emotionally, logically, how we think, the differences is there's beauty in that. I don't think it needs to be attacked or shamed or found disgusting or annoying. It just is. It just is. So that's that. So we got anger, fear. This is a good one. The thing you are afraid of is the thing you gotta do. Okay, guys, I'm gonna say that again. The thing you are afraid of is the thing you have to do. So if you find yourself not taking action because you're afraid of a particular thing, I thought I clicked Westfall. Alright. Yeah, like I said, if you find a thing, if you're afraid to take an action, that action you gotta do. You gotta take that action. If you can't, you must. I don't remember who said that. I heard it once. But if you can't, like you're afraid of it, you must do it. And then the last one would be surprise or excitement. This gets the better of me. Sometimes it's excitement is a hard one, or a surprise is a hard one to. Sometimes when you're surprised, guys, you get caught up in the moment, and oh man. Anyways, and you make a fool of yourself, an ass of yourself. Like, you get caught up in it, and then you sometimes when life throws you a surprise, you got to you gotta act like you're not surprised, and when life doesn't surprise you, you gotta kind of just smile, like, I knew it. I knew that was how that was gonna play out. Um, that one's a little bit harder. It's basically keeping I like to put it, but not getting caught up with a mom mentality. It's like surprise. Like, if you got a room and the surprise gets everyone in the room, like somebody makes a really bad joke and everyone laughs. That's what I mean. Sometimes you make yourself look like a fool. It's kind of hard to it's kind of hard unless you see it. It's kind of hard to explain, but I guess I'm throwing out the ideas. That's why I went and got that. All right. Today's goal, guys, is to get this get all the Dead Minds quest ready. So but that basically, emotional control, guys, just keeping your emotions from you making bad decisions. That's what we're talking about here, making bad decisions. So we got the emotional control. Let's see, we got discipline. We talked about taking the same action over and over. Patience, waiting for the reward. Maturity, integrity. This is a big one. This is a big one today. Integrity, guys, is not engaging in. Well, let me give you some examples. It's probably easy. It's kind of hard to word. If you can't, you ever heard this? If you can't don't talk shit about behind somebody's back. They talk about integrity. You should always talk shit to somebody's face and always compliment them behind their back. Okay, that's integrity, right? You do that. That's integrity. Another thing is not to engage in gossip or slander, that type of stuff. It's basically being above the petty behaviors of other people. That's how I like to look at it. You are above that. You are going to be above that petty behavior. You don't need to make commentary on people. You don't need to belittle people. You don't need to humiliate people. You don't need to shit talk about people. You don't need to complain. The only thing out of your mouth should be compliments. Okay. That is that's integrity, right? It's this is who you are, and it's not just saying you're gonna have good character, but actually living it, right? That's integrity. Not hiding from things. That kind of goes with maturity, but these guys, these all intertwine. They're not just like, you can't just like separate them. They all overlap and influence one another. But that's what I'm talking about. Integrity. Basically, don't engage in petty behavior. And then the last one, guys, is abundance mentality. This is more of a way to view the world than I mean, it is a trait or a skill. A lot of people, if you feel like you're losing out, you got a scarcity mentality. If you feel like you're losing out on something, that's a scarcity mentality. If you feel like plenty for everyone, if I just wait long enough, I'll get it. That's an abundance mentality, right? That helps with patience. It's big with the patience. But if you're afraid of losing something, if you're very jealous or envious, that is that's scarcity. You gotta rid your thinking of that. Like I said, if your thinking is, if I do it long enough and wait long enough, I'll have it. You're good. Because there's plenty of money in the world. Wait, that's not what I want. Upstairs. Plenty of money, plenty of women, plenty of power. Right? These things do not need to be fought over. You do not need to get engaged in petty behavior to obtain them. Okay, so these are the 6 things that you need to work on to have good character, guys. Very good character. And the better the character. Now, why better? Why good character? Because good character keeps you guys from keeps you from doing the dumb shit. And if you can keep yourself from doing the dumb shit and just doing the right shit, you'll eventually get there, right? So we understand the good character, right? Now, kind of to circle back, like, I know it sounds like we got on a tangent, but like a little while ago I was talking about how when people are making careers, I think there's certain skills you can take to different fields and still technically have the same job. And I really thought about these, and I've read a lot of things, and I've watched some videos, and I pretty much came to a conclusion that there are 3 skills that if you master, you can take them to any type of job and you'll be valuable. It doesn't matter where it is. If you say, I am great with these 3 skills, and you can show that you're good with these 3 skills, the world is yours in terms of job opportunities. And these 3 skills are this, guys. Educating and leading people. That's one. So your people skills, right? Marketing and sales. Okay. If you can master all 3 things, you got it. You got it. You got it. Okay. So, like, example, when you're in charge of people, you are managing them, right? Educating and managing is the same thing, guys. When you manage, you educate. I came to that conclusion I think this morning I actually thought about it. I'm like, yeah, they're the same thing, right? When you even look at it, when you tell somebody what to do for the day, you are quote unquote educating them on what needs to be done on that day, right? That's another way you could word it, right? You're telling them I want it done. This is what I want done, and this is how I want it done. Okay. And leading, I think if you have good character, you're leading them, right? If they know, hey, if I follow this guy, I'm gonna be rewarded. They'll follow you, right? The good thing will happen if I follow, right? So that's compliment. That's number 1. That's the first skill. And if I had to suggest a book on that, it would be How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. That's probably the best, like, educated, like, that is people skill book 101, right? You need to master that. Master that in your education, right? You managing people, you leading people correctly will pay dividends. The next thing is marketing. Basically, marketing is just basically how you get people from not knowing you to knowing you exist, right? That's what marketing is. It's like, the big sign in front of that part of it's like the big sign in front of the store, the newspaper ads, the things that get you, I'm gonna go check out this store. I wanna go see what's inside that store. That's marketing, right? I wanna know what this or you can do it. I wanna know what this person is about, this company is about, what they do, what they offer, right? That's marketing. And then sales is getting the person to buy the offer, right? So example is, let's just say you're a welding shop. We'll use that. And you have a big sign, a big fancy sign that catches people's attention. And like, I want to know what these guys are about. You tell them, hey, I weld A, B, and C. And if they like your offer, then you can say, hey, you should hire me because I'll be able to do X, Y, and Z for this price. And I can guarantee you A, B, and C, right? And people are like, oh yeah, I like that. We're gonna hire you. Or they're like, no, we're not gonna hire you. Back and forth, man. Now I'm off the Stormwind. That's sales, right, guys? Sales. Alex Hormozi did this, and I like this. Sales is giving the person enough information to make a choice. The sale, whether or not. If you get a no from the sale, if you say, you know what, I'm going to go for another, if you get a no, that's a success. If you get a yes, that's a success. The failure, quote unquote, is when they don't do anything at all, right? And I actually have seen this. There's been projects I've quoted that they ended up not doing anything with. That's technically a failure in sales. They did not make a choice. where did I go to this? Oh, okay, the road place. That is a failure in oops, oops. That's a failure in sales. Is when no choice is made, no one won, and everybody lost. So yeah, those are the 3 skills, guys. People managing, marketing, and sales. Okay, right. And so if you have good character and you have those 3 skills, I am convinced if you might take a little couple trials and failures to get there, that you will you'll eventually hit the mark. You'll hit the dream, whatever that dream is. $1 million, $2 million. I don't see why not. So this kind of brings us, now that we've gotten the skills, I think you should try to go after the character traits. You should try to go after. This brings me back to saying yes to opportunity. Right, you're gonna have a lot of choices in your life. Do I do this? Do I do that? I'm not sure. And I don't have the answers, like which ones you should go into. The point is, though, guys, you're going to want to eventually pick a particular path, and you got to walk it. So I'm telling you. And like, no one can tell you the exact path to walk, the exact journey you should go. Right? No one's got the perfect map. I can only give you these few suggestions, right? So just kind of the review a little bit of what we've talked about so far is the principle I think you should live on. When an adventure calls, you should say yes, right? When the adventure calls, you should say yes. But you're not going to be. But there's going to be But at the same time, and this is a paradox, there's a lot of adventures that are going to call towards you. So you got to pick the one that you think is going to yield you the best results at that particular time. Yeah, this is it. Whatever journey you end up going yes on, whatever path you end up walking. What's this? There's certain skills you're gonna want to work on. Okay. The 3 skills I think you need to learn is people skills. People skills, marketing, and sales, right? These 3 skills you'll be able to take into they'll serve you well in whatever journey you end up wanting to go on. Okay? Whatever other skill sets you want to add to that, they will make you, like Dale Carnegie was a person, not Dale Carnegie, Andrew Carnegie was a phenomenal people person, right? That's how he was able to That's how he was able to build his empire. He knew how to. He didn't know shit about steel. He just knew how to handle people. He knew how to get people to do what he needed them to do, and that's how he worked. Pure persuasion, basically. Now that's very hard to do. I'm not saying that's why I don't say rely on just that. I think that's why I had marketing and sales in, but that was his strength. Marketing and sales. For marketing, I suggest a one-page marketing plan by Alan Dibb. I have not yet quite found a book I am in love with sales. I do like Alex Hormozi's approach. I know he's going to eventually have a sales book. I don't know when it will be written. But basically his objective with sales is to get them to make a decision of yes or no. Like, lead them like, yes, this is for me, no, this is not for me. What you don't want is I'll get back to you, you never hear from them again. thing. That's what he would consider the failure. Um, so yes, this is the goal. This is the dream, guys. Those three skills, and then good character. That's a lifelong thing. And you'll have your moments of weakness, but you just, like I said, you want to make sure you want to be working on your maturity. You want to be working on your integrity, emotional control, discipline, patience, and having an abundance mentality. And that is that's the big things, guys. Those are the big things. I'm convinced if you work on A and B, the good character and the marketing, sales, and people thing. If you worked on that for a year, you'd probably be like, wow, I've come a long way. I've come a phenomenally long way. And like I said, it's not easy. It's not easy walking that path. But those skills will help you. I got 3 of the 5. I'm trying to get all the dead mine. I want to do dead mines tomorrow. If I can find a group. Okay, I gotta find the. I think. Ooh, I can't remember what path he takes. Alright, I gotta go. Well, I know what path. I kind of know where he spawns at, so I can just walk the path back and forth. Anyways, do some exploring, find some herbs. Right, guys, so those are the skills. Those are the skills we gotta wrestle with. The skills we got and the objectives we need to have. Build those three. Build skills. Build good character. Right. Skills and character. And Alex Hormozi says character and skills are like the same thing, just one's internal, one's external. I guess that's a fair statement. I'm not disagreeing with that. Pick some flowers, guys. I gotta pick some flowers. Oops. Oh. Might just wait till he comes back. Oh, cool. I really just want Cookie's wand from Dead Mines tomorrow. I'm gonna be running Dead Mines until I get it. Alright, let's keep going. Well, the first time I entered this zone, I thought it was the coolest zone ever. I really did. Yeah, I think it's this way I gotta go. It is this way. It is this way. Okay, cool. I think it's from here. I know he spawns over here. Um, I don't know if I can get him. Yeah, he spawns here. I'm gonna just walk up and down the path till I find him. But yeah, so at the end of the day, guys, you gotta accept some calls to adventures. You gotta build these skills, and you gotta work on the character. And it'll be hard because you will face opposition. You will face a lot of opposition, especially for character building. The skills, not so much, guys. Like, there's no one that's gonna tell you, oh, don't learn sales, don't learn marketing, don't learn people skills. No one's gonna tell you not to do that. What they are gonna fight you on is the character building traits, right? They're gonna tell you, you need it now. You need to get it now. You're gonna hear that a lot. The integrity thing, you're gonna get fought on, right? Because people like to say they have integrity until it's not convenient, like until the situation's not convenient for them. Then suddenly integrity goes out the window. Maturity, I think the world is just lacking in maturity. I really do. I think people are just so weak in this in that view. Just so weak. It's kind of sad. I don't know. I am not 100% sure what it is. Maybe people have always been immature. Maybe we've never had. Maybe maturity has never been a thing that people have had before. It's kind of hard to tell. Maybe they have. I don't know. I don't know if I don't know when, but I feel like, though, like if you look at like movies in the 50s, I hate it because everyone says the 50s are like the golden age. I think the 50s had problems as well, maybe different problems, vastly different problems, but they had problems as well. But you could tell that the people are just more put together with their lives in the 50s. You can just see it. Is that because of how the economy kind of eroded in recent decades? That culture thing? I don't know. It's probably a mixture of them all, but you could just see it. But I just feel like today people are not mature. They just lack it. They seriously lack it, and that is very unfortunate. I know the messenger pats up and down this path. I just gotta hit it with the spawn right. Emotional control, guys. This one, again, no one's gonna tell you not to be in control of your emotions, but this is a hard one. Because no one is, but you gotta resist those bad Elohim, as Jonathan Peugeot calls them, bad Elohim, which kind of translates into gods, but it's not quite the same. Anyone interested in what that word translates, but it's not quite what they mean by God. But yeah, you gotta resist that. You gotta resist those emotions. You can't act a fool. I want the peace spoon. I want the freaking peace spoon. Okay. Oh man, I get him. I know I'm gonna get him. Oh, got it though. What's that? How's my cloak? Oh, that's good. So yeah, you gotta resist that. Patience, integrity. What's this blow doing? I don't even know. Yum, I don't even know what Yum Yum's doing. I know this guy's got quick. I think he spawns down here. Almost positive he spawns down here. Somewhere in that cave, and then he comes out. Keep walking up and down the path until I see him. Wait, I think this is it. Ah, I went the wrong way. I went the wrong way. Yeah, he okay, yeah, I gotta go up and down this path until I see him. Bad. Anyways, guys, that's kind of what I got for you, man. Excuse me. Hoping that all makes sense to everyone here, and hope you guys get a lot out of it. Like I said, that's kind of what I got for you guys for the. Oh. So something else, opportunity, right? So an opportunity presented itself. For a while now, I've been wanting a new place to live. I don't like a particular landlord here. Particular roommate I have, it's come to its natural conclusion. So somebody else offered me a room, and I am going to be moving. I've accepted to sign the lease. It'll be kind of nice to have a new place, a different place, a change, right? That's basically what stagnation is, guys. Is when things don't change and they keep going and going and going. But you need things to change, guys. You need things to develop, to mature. Things are not meant to stay the same forever, despite what people may want or say. Change is good. You should embrace the change. You should embrace change. I don't see him. I'll come on down this way. Yeah, I don't think change is a bad thing. We're looking for the messenger to kill. So anyways, yeah, I'll be moving October 1st. I'm looking forward to it, and I think this will be a good change. I think this will be a very, very good change. Some other things I want to do. I want to lose the last 8 to 10 pounds I need to lose. I've been fucking around with it for too long. Um, I just get, again, it's the patience. It's not even the patience. It's the boredom, man. Doing the same thing, eating the same thing, day after day, month after month. It does get to you after a while. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it is hard. It's not easy. If it was easy, everyone would do it. It's very hard. But sometimes you gotta push. You gotta push through the pain or the boredom. You gotta push through the boredom, guys. The monotony of it. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been working on, guys, and what these monologues are kind of about. Don't want to blast him. Fucking one-shot me. One arcane explosion take me right out of this world. Oh man, I just want this messenger, and then I gotta do the escort, and I think no, I gotta do a couple other things. Okay. Oh. No need to fight. Oops. See who gets this tag first, guys. Let's see who gets this tag first. Get this to 5. Bum, 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 bum. cool. We got now it's just the escort, and then escort, and then that's it. I don't know. I have a feeling this man doesn't speak English. Probably not. Getting ready for Dead Mines, guys. I'm getting ready for Dead Mines. I don't know why she would not just wait. Wait, did I accept it? Oh. No, he's not. Yeah, I just want to get this done, guys. I think I got. I know there's 5D Dead Mines quest. I got 3 of them. This will get me the 4th, and then I will be. Then I will get the. I'll get the 5th one, which I think is a 2-part quest. It starts over here, and then I think it goes up here or something. Cool. So cool. We need a hero. Oof, I'm pretty rested. I had like I said, I had to take a week off because of work. So this is good. This is good, guys. I need a hero. He's gotta be strong. He's gotta be fast. He's gotta be fresh from the fight. I need a hero. Alright, guys. I gotta talk to Cross, figure out how you see your chat. I wouldn't mind seeing like the chat right here. our eyes out, guys. There might be thieves. Alright, oh man, we didn't have to fight anything, dude. That was awesome. GG. Good, 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 good. I just got one more quest I gotta get, and then that should do it. Do it for the night, guys. Do it for the night. Yeah. Cool. Ooh, look at all that XP I got, guys. Yeah. I think over here there's a quest I need to get. I gotta get some bandanas, and then it opens up another quest up there, I believe. Maybe not. Maybe I just go up there. Let me take a look. Could be wrong. 100% wrong. 100% freaking wrong. So I think there's a quest that gets you the bandanas out of Dead Mines. I know the guy up here gives it, but I don't know if there's a prerequisite. What's the Dead Mines quest? That is it. That's it. No, that's it. I got all 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright. Alright. Cool. Oops. Well, that does it for the night, guys. I thought that was a prerequisite, but I guess I was mistaken. So we'll just do a little bit of a recap for the night, guys. So the goal is to end the stagnation, right? And Oh, there are two of them. Okay, maybe that's. Anyway. I think this is a inn. Alright, so I'm gonna finish this up for the night, and then tomorrow will be Dead Mines. But anyways, guys, ending stagnation has been, as I said, very, very important in my life, and I think it should be an important goal for everyone in their life. And to do this, you got to say yes to opportunities, even though but this problem isn't there isn't no opportunities. This problem there's too many, and we get paralyzed. So once you say yes to a certain adventure, you got to see it all the way through. I think 3 skills that will help anyone on any particular adventure they go on is marketing, sales, and handling people. Like those 3 skills. That can make you a fortune if you know how to use it correctly. You leverage those skills correctly. I also believe you need to build good character. Okay, and as I said earlier, I believe good character is made up of 6 attributes, as I like to put it: discipline, patience, emotional control, maturity, integrity, and having an abundance mentality. So those are the things that people need to work on. To give an example of where I think everyone should start, and I've said this multiple times on these videos, is I think everyone needs to get into the gym and just work out. Like, you're going to want to work out you don't want to work out to your 90, guys. I know that sounds like an absurd goal, but you're going to want to work out to your 90. So, and if you can work out 3 times a week for 50 years, you'll have discipline. No problem. So guys, that's what I have for you for tonight. Thank you for joining us, and I will see you guys on the next Big and Buff Adventures. Have a good evening. Bye.